Hello, my friends, viewers, and followers. I'm so glad you tuned back in. I'm so happy that I'm actually getting to film today. So that's very special. I'm actually feeling so much better despite the fact that the weather has been crazy in Germany. So one day I walk with almost 60 degrees in a sweater outside, and it's sunny and bright, and we actually have a summer thunderstorm. And then the next day it's snowing. I literally walked in snow this morning. It was almost like a snowstorm, so I don't know what's going on. I hope the weather is changing very soon because I'm so looking forward to some sun. I really am craving for it. I need it. Yeah, I'm really pale. You can see I need some sun. So I hope wherever you are, spring is already blooming and that you're in a good mood, because I love spring. I love the resurrection of nature, basically, where the leaves are just blooming and popping up, and it's just the flowers and everything. It's just being beautiful. So I hope that is coming soon for us in Germany here. And today I would love to answer some of the questions that I have received for ages. So this video is a Q&A video, and I hope to answer some of your questions. I got so many, so I'm going to have several videos, and I'm trying to film actually more than one video to make sure that I actually can put out a few videos and not only one. So let's start. Let me look up the questions. I actually wrote them down in my notebook. Okay, so question number 1, and altogether I can tell you I have I think 13, so we're not going to go through all of them today. Do people lose free choice in heaven? If not, how can someone not sin for an eternity? Okay, so this life on earth here is a life where it determines, you choose where your next life will be. And let me tell you, you as a person yourself will not live here on earth again. The same, I mean, the you that you know, that you live, that you see, you're not going to live again. You're not going to reborn in the same way. So that means your life now is very, very important, because you determine where you will live. You either, it's plain, it's either white or black. You either go to hell, or you either go to heaven. And there's one segment in between. You can go to purgatory. Purgatory is the place where you still are not a saint. You're still not fully cleansed of your sins, of your attachments. So you need to be purified. So that's purgatory, where you will be cleansed. It's almost like, I don't know, some of you probably know the burning bush that Moses approached. The burning bush, it wasn't like destroying the bush, but it was the fire in the bush. It's kind of like that kind of fire. It's a cleansing fire. So you can go to purgatory, and once you've done your time in purgatory and you're fully cleansed, and it depends on how much sin you're still carrying, how much dirt and filth, how much attachments you have here on earth, then you go to heaven. So there is heaven or hell, or the station in between. Before you go to heaven, it's purgatory. So do people lose free choice in heaven? No, but you will be so clean, so pure, that there is no sin. There's no sin in heaven. There is just purity. You're in the presence of God. You will be able to see actually God. See, we as humans cannot see God because we could not live through it, because it's so pure and we're so impure. We would die. So that's why, for example, Elijah wanted to see God, and he said, okay, God actually passed him by, put the hand over Elijah so he wouldn't see the face of God, but only basically the back, because he would die if he would see the full face of God and the presence of God. So that means that we made our choice. We made our choice here on earth. And then you still have free choice, but there's no reason you want to. You want to leave the presence of God. You want to leave happiness. You're just in bliss. Just imagine the most blissful state that you can be in. Why would you want to leave that if you can have that for eternity? So yes, you don't sin anymore then. And it's just, you're so pure. You will not. You're like an angel then in heaven. So yeah, there's no reason and no temptation, everything, no sickness, no disease, no unhappiness, no pain. There's nothing, no desire. Everything will be fulfilled. So you don't have to, you will not wish for anything else. I hope I answered your question well. If you do have further questions to the questions that I answered, please write me in the comments. No problem. I answer it even further. Second question. Do you do preparations to your feet before filming? How you choose your outfits? No, I shower. I get cleaned up. I put some lotion on my feet. And I'm just grabbing what I feel like grabbing. I feel like I haven't worn this jacket, for example, before. So that's why I'm wearing it. I just do whatever, however I feel like. Third question. Are we reincarnated forms of someone from a past? And will we reincarnate into a new life after we die? No, we will not. Not in the way you think. We're not going to be the same person, the same body, the same soul. But what will happen actually is everyone has talents, gifts, graces from God. These will be passed on. See, Jesus told a story. He told a story of the talents. So there was the householder of a farm, and he gave, he gave his servants, he was going away, it was a king, I'm not sure anymore, and he went away and gave one servant 10 talents. So we can see talents is already mentioned. They mean money, but we can see it also in talents, graces, full graces for God, that should be multiplied. Another, he gave 5 talents, and another one, he gave 1. And see, he went away for a long time, came back, and see what the servants did with the money. So the servant that had been given 10 talents said, look, I gained 10 talents on top of it. So great, said the householder, wonderful. That is so great. And also to the 5 who's been given 5, he made, like, went to the market or did something, and he gained 5 more. And then the one with the 1 talent, he dug up the ground, hid it in the ground, the talents that were inside of him that he had, and did nothing with them. So the householder said, why in the world did you not multiply it? Or even gave it to the bank, that there would be interest on it, and there would be more after I returned than before. So he condemned actually the person who hid the talents. What does that mean? It means that your talents, and the 1 talent was then taken away and given to the one who had the most. And you could say, well, that's kind of unfair. No, he was the one working the most with it. So your talents, your graces will be passed on. Even the gifts For example, we know that Elijah went up into heaven, and Elias, his predecessor, the one who took over his place, said that he would like to have part of his spirit. So Elijah said, okay, if you can see me go up into heavens, then you will get part of my spirit. And he did. So this is actually reincarnated. And we know that it says in the Bible that John the Baptist, and he was not aware of it, is actually an incarnation of Elijah. But he wasn't aware of it. It wasn't that he was the same person, same body. He just needed the memory recupinated, and then he would remember everything that he's done in his past lives. That's not true. That's not true. So, will you be passed on? Of course. Just imagine, even physically, you can see that you're being passed on, and you will live on, and you will reincarnate in one version or the other. When you die, you come to the ground, you decay, you fall into ashes, and it might dung another flower, or a worm eats you, basically, and then a bird eats that worm. So you're still part of you, your ashes are being carried on. So you can say, yes, in one sense, you live on, but your talents and everything will also live on if you don't use them right, and they're lost. But you, yourself, your person will not rise again. Forget it that you say, oh, I still have so and so many lives, so, screw this one up, and the next life, I'm sure I will get it. No, it doesn't work that way. So be careful with it. I hope I answered that question as well. Question number 4. We all know God watches over us and lead us to great life, but doesn't a God deserve a God too? Okay, the God that is beyond even the Trinity. See, there's the Trinity, it's a manifestation. There is God that is even beyond, even greater. So that, like the Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit are parts of God. Like if you cut God into pieces, that would be character traits of God. That is God, but just parts of God. So beyond these parts of God, you have this oneness, this one God behind it all. He's formless. And no, he does not need a God. He does not need to serve anybody because he's the maker. Just imagine you make a puppet house and you mold forms of the puppet house. And these people of the puppet house, they, worship the God who made them. Let's say they worship you. I'm just telling the story. It's not about worshiping people. It's just a picture. Just imagine. Then you would not need anybody else if that's just the vacuum and you just the puppet house, and you don't need anyone else. You made them, and they need to worship you, acknowledge you as the creator, not that you need to acknowledge anything else. So God is beyond all. No, he doesn't need a God. Absolutely not, because he's everything. He's love. He's everything. So when he is everything and in everything, why would he need anything else? He is everything. Last question for this Q&A. 5. A lot of people in the world, even myself, use and take the Lord's name in vain, even if when we're upset or angry. But is it really wrong to say the name of the Lord in vain? If it is, what makes it a bad thing? If not, why do we do it? So you're not supposed to take the Lord's name in vain. It's one of the 10 commandments, so don't do it. It's not good. God said so. So there's no reason to question it. It's not good. And you don't use God's name as a cuss word. It's just not reverent. It's not humility. It's actually pride. It's anger. It's, you know, what Satan would do. He hates God, so he uses the name as a hateful name, with hate. So it's, you know, it's something else if you call out and you having a problem and you say, Jesus, and it's meant as, help me. And there's a difference if you use it as a cuss word. So it's really bad because you are not giving any reverence to God, but you're cursing him. So that's not really. And why do we do it? Because basically you're being tempted into doing it by Satan, by your lifestyle, because you hear it all the time. For example, if you listen to bad movies all the time who have foul language or music or anything else, or surround yourself with people who curse and cuss a lot, you will adapt to that lifestyle, to that wording, and you will act the same way. It just rubs off. Bad company rubs off, and it doesn't matter if it's company via social media, YouTube, movies, anything. It rubs off. So, you know, it just shows where you are and what state you're in. And so it's really not a place a road that we should go. And why do we do it? Because we're weak. And it happens to the best of us, but you can ask for forgiveness. And that's really, really, really important. If it comes out without you, for example, planning on it, or you first made up your mind to think of it and it just bursts out, then you didn't do it with intention to do it, and this sin is forgivable. Now, if you use the Lord's name in vain quite a lot and it happens to you, think about where's that coming from. You might be listening to the wrong music, watching foul movies, surrounding yourself with people who curse a lot. That's not good. As I say, it rubs off. I hope this Q&A was very interesting to you, and I see you soon again with another Q&A. God bless you.